Hello folks, this is Damien with Best Care. I'm here today to perform training on patient lift slings. The product that I'm going to train on today is what we call our Goldman-Leco compatible patient lift sling. So what I'm going to be showing you today is transferring the patient from the chair, from the bed, and from the ground. It's important to understand when you're using patient lift slings is that typically the patient is in either one of two positions throughout the day. Either they're sitting in the wheelchair or in a chair, or they're lying down. So those are the two basic positions we're going to need to transfer from with these types of slings. Now, before I get into the actual use of the sling, let me hold up the sling, and you can see that the sling is shaped like a horseshoe. We offer two basic models of this sling available either from medium, large, and extra large. The first style would be support to the shoulders, and that's this particular sling. And what I mean by the support to the shoulders is the sling, when it's placed on the patient properly, the top of the sling will be right at the shoulders of the patient. The second style, again available in medium, large, and extra large, is the sling with the head support. So this particular sling will rest right above the patient's head when it's applied properly on the patient when they're in the chair or bed. Now some of you may be asking, how can I determine what the right size of the sling is for the patient? It's pretty easy to determine this. What you basically do is you first have to know what type of support that the patient needs. Do they need shoulder support or do they need head support? And then you would simply measure from the shoulder or head down to the tailbone area on the patient. Please, all the way down to the bottom of the chair. And that distance from the tailbone to either the shoulder or the top of the head would be how you size the sling up on the patient. So we can see with this sling, which supports to the shoulders, if we fold it in half, we hold it up to the patient, about to their tailbone area and their shoulder, you can see that the sling is the right size for this patient, which is a medium. So one of the reasons this sling is one of my favorite slings is that it's simple for you to apply the sling on the patient when they're in the chair, and you can remove the sling from the patient once they're back in the chair. And the way that we do that is we simply take the sling, like so, hold it upside down, so the instructions are facing the patient. Then we take the back part of the sling, which some of you may not be able to see well now, and tuck it down behind the patient. Now, there's a little pocket in the back of the sling you can use to help assist you in tucking it down until you hit the bottom of the chair. Then the next step is to take the leg straps, bring it around the hips, underneath the legs, and then bring it up into the material so you have a good support underneath the leg. And the same on the other side. So you can see now that the sling is on the patient. When we focus on the leg area of the sling, it's important for you to understand that you can use the sling three different ways. The first way is as it's applied now with the sling crossed. That's used probably 90% of the time with this type of sling. The second way is for perineal access. You would leave the straps separated. When you connect it and raise the patient up, you have access to the perineal area. Now, if you have a patient who's contracted, then you simply can't get the sling between the legs. The straps are long enough, so you can take the sling and you can bring it around and underneath the patient on both sides. And now we've created kind of a cradling effect for the patient. So let's go ahead and show how we would remove the sling from the patient when they're in the chair. We uncross the straps, bring them back out underneath the thighs on their sides. Step behind the patient, and voila, we have the sling off the patient. That is how we apply this style of sling to a patient in a chair.